Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another Mobile Weekly. Hey guys, welcome to another Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A, where we go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and tech and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comments section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. All right, guys, a lot of things wanted to go on. Just wanted to give you some updates. I'm sorry I didn't get any videos out this week. Had some family stuff, and then also had, going away stuff from my old job at Newegg, where I ran the influencer program there, and now I'm starting a new job tomorrow, and it should be very interesting. I will talk about more about the job thing at the end and tell you guys where I'm going. But until then, I do want to give one thing kind of a heads up before we get to the news, and that is I have some new merch. So obviously, I've had merch forever. I think it's actually at the bottom of here. You can see like all the merch that I have available and lots of fun styles and looks and everything like that. But I do have some new ones that just recently came out, so I wanted to highlight it for you guys. This is one of my favorite ones. It's like the Disney style font. And a lot of these are just going to say Tech Guy or YouTube Tech Guy, and that's, again, my theme is just always kind of, showing off Tech Guy stuff in new ways. So you have like the Disney font, the Friends font, Minecraft. I like this one, Tech Guy and Chill. You can guess which one that one is. Nintendo style in two different styles. So yeah, lots of fun ones. I just put the link in the description if you wanted to check out any of them. You got new TikTok style, all these kind of different things, and lots of different kind of merch you can get. So go ahead and check it out if you want to support it. Really, I try to keep the cost low. I literally make like $1 or $2 off of everything, just so I can keep the prices as low as possible. So really, it's just for the price of manufacturing it. So hopefully you guys like that. But let me know. If you do like any specific one, let me know what names in the comments section, and that way I can kind of know what direction you guys like more in terms of shirts and merch. So yeah, let me know. All right, now let's get to the news. And, I don't want to say Samsung makes all their decisions because of me, but I think I just have to start thinking that. No, it's funny. So first off, we had this leak, right? About the new Galaxy Z Fold 6, and I had said last week that I'm not that excited for this phone because it looks like it's going to be a wider phone, right, than the current Z Fold 5 was. So you're going to have a bit of a wider one on here, and I have mine right here. So it's going to be a bit of a wider phone compared to this one, right? And actually, this is a Z Fold 4, but it's the same thing as a Z Fold 5. There really wasn't much of a difference. However, this one's going to be wider, much more akin to the OnePlus Open, which I think we can all agree was a better designed phone in terms of the wide and aspect ratio. It was just better overall. But since last week, there have been several different rumors, not only pointing to this phone, which again, thinner design, flatter or wider display, and that's it. New processor, all that kind of stuff, AI, and that's it. That is literally all the differences of this phone. But ever since last week, there's been the rumor mill suddenly going off about a Galaxy Fold 6 Ultra, which is exactly what I pitched for the Samsung to do. So I'm not saying they follow me. Honestly, if this had to be in production already. But I had said, like, you know what Samsung should do? They should just split the Fold into two variants, and whether it be 1,500 or 1,600, be the Z Fold 6, right? So lower the price slightly. You really want to sell more. Lower the price slightly. The Z Fold 5 did not do well by any stretch of the imagination to Samsung's sales and what they thought they would do. It didn't measure up to last year finally getting competition with the Pixel Fold and the OnePlus Open. While I still say Samsung's ahead, it definitely was more like apparent, like, oh, wow, like it was missing things compared to those two phones. Now, that being said, I will say that Samsung could, just do a Z Fold 6. All right, this one, is just for the thinner, lighter crowd. The ones that are the iPhone people that we're going to get. Whatever. But give the true Samsung following, the ones that used to wait till the end of the year to get the Note because it was the best phone of the year, give those people a heavier phone, a thicker phone, and give them three things: the S Pen, a 108 or 200 megapixel camera, and give them a bigger battery, 5,000 milliamp, 5,500 milliamp. You can fit it in there with the S Pen, and um, the bigger camera, how much thickness that will create. Give us that battery all the way through. I said if they did this, they would hit their goals, no matter how crazy their foldable goals are this year. They will hit it if they do that. Absolutely. They will 100% hit it, because you have people that have wanted that answer that I get asked every single week. Do I go with the Fold or do I go with the Ultra? Because the problem is if you want the best battery life and the best camera and an S Pen built in, you don't go with the Fold. You go with the Ultra. But if you want the best phone of the year, I mean, a foldable with a nice big display is always enticing. So that's where I was just like, man, all I need to do is split these phones up so they can get that phone that they still think that, oh, we're going to get iPhone users with. We'll get them to look over here, which I think the Flip has done more for them than the Fold ever will. But, sure. I think if you make the best of the best phone and call it a Galaxy Fold Ultra and charge $2,000 for it, I think it will outsell the Fold 6. I truly do. And it's just because of the fact that, and now don't get me wrong, you're going to have to give some good trade-ins again and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I think like the trade-ins dropped almost $200 compared to year over year in terms of value before now. So you're going to have to give some good trade-ins and all that kind of stuff, right? But I think if you do, man, I think people will do it. I think people will for sure do it. Let me know what you guys think. I would buy a Galaxy Fold 6 Ultra. I mean, now don't get me wrong. Would I love it to be 1,800 so that they don't raise the price? Sure, I would love that more. But I mean, if you give me a reason, right, instead of what I would be getting this year with the Galaxy Fold 6, and it be 1,800, and it just be this, I don't feel like I'm getting a lot, and I feel like I should be getting charged less for this. But you do all of these three things, the three things that every Fold person, every person that has still held on to a Galaxy Note has been waiting for, then I think you're going to get all those people, the diehards that have not upgraded in years. I think that's how you get them. I think that's how you make people buy a new phone. But let me know what you guys think. Again, that's my thoughts on it. I think that it will just do so much better if they do that. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. All right. Now, this one was really interesting. So for those of you who don't remember, T-Mobile merged with Sprint a couple of years back, right? That was about 3 years ago? 4 years ago? I think 3 years ago. One of these articles had said it too. It's about to be the anniversary coming up, basically. But one of the caveats of that being allowed to happen was that they would have effectively have to sell Boost and all of its spectrum that Sprint previously had over to another network so that there could be a big four still, right? And that fourth one who bought this one was Dish. Slight problem. Dish looks like it's going to file bankruptcy this year. So it means they probably can't buy that spectrum. That spectrum was, I think, 3.8. I want to say it was 3.8 billion. 3.59. Sorry, a little bit less. 3.59 billion that they were supposed to pay T-Mobile this year for that. They have since asked for an extension, which they gave $100 million for. only 100 million out of the 3.59 billion. And basically that's to extend it. That's like, hey, we're going to extend this, kind of thing. Um, so a couple of things with this, right? That extension is only until April 1st. So I don't think they're going to come up with the money. I think they're going to file bankruptcy before that happens. And then, obviously won't have an obligation to do that. And, yeah. So that being said, the interesting thing about this is that we are then going to have to see what happens. Because T-Mobile's now going to have all this extra spectrum, which again could make their, towers even better, all that kind of stuff. They could take a lot of the excess to that spectrum, right? Or they could have another buyer. So who would be in contention to buy this? Especially because this purchase also included Boost Mobile, really. I don't know if it undoes the Boost Mobile, because Dish essentially operated Boost Mobile since the merger happened. But I think this spectrum was supposed to be paid for that as part of it. But let's just say Boost stays with Dish, and if Dish files bankruptcy, Boost goes with it. Boost has only lost subscribers this year, and wow, that was firework. But the really interesting thing about this is who would be in contention for a wireless network right now. My top one has been, since this was announced, Amazon. I can think of no other one that would be so impactful that they could get into this right now and do a very good job. And just because you're having people complain right now about Amazon Prime recently with everything, for Prime Video. And what better way to, like, oh, well, now we'll give you a discount on this, prepaid wireless service from Amazon called Amazon Prime Phone or whatever kind of thing, It would be very interesting, and they have the money to do it. And unlike Apple, that I think would get major pushback, because Apple is another one that has the money to do it, right? And obviously is in this realm. The problem is that Apple didn't like that spectrum to begin with, right? They weren't big fans of this spectrum. But the biggest thing I will say is that for Apple, it's for the longest time, like for movie theaters, you couldn't be a movie theater that owned a movie production company. That did go away after the pandemic because movie theaters were going away. So they were like, whoever wants to buy a movie theater can buy a movie theater. So that opened the gates for, like, maybe Amazon or Apple buying a actual movie theater chain, right? Apple wouldn't want to do that. There's not really much money in it. Same with Amazon. The only reason is because Amazon was making movies, so it was like, oh, maybe they might go into that. Didn't end up happening, and these companies just went out of business. These movie theater companies, for the most part, have went out of business or are on the back foot until essentially Marvel starts making blockbusters again, really, because that's what saved it during the pandemic and all that. Well, that and stock memes. But the interesting thing about this is that while I don't think Apple can do it, like it would get blocked. I feel like if Apple would be a fourth competitor, although it would be interesting, right? Because I think if anything, they would just start outbidding Verizon, T-Mobile, and everyone else to build a best network. They would be far behind. Don't get me wrong. But how long would it take for them to really like surpass some of the prepaid carriers? Really, all of these spectrums are auctioned off every year or two, right? And some players make more push than others, but with Apple, they would literally have the money to buy all the spectrum for each auction for the next 3 years. They probably legally couldn't, but it's just an interesting aspect to it. So let me know what you guys think. Who do you think could buy Dish Network, or at least a spectrum from it? Basically, if this does fall through, who has 3.59 billion, essentially? And even if it's not going to cost as much, or if it might cost more now that it might be more valuable, let me know what you guys think. It's a very interesting turn of events because the only reason T-Mobile got the deal with Sprint was because of this, and now it's gone. So yeah, um, let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, I might have some hope, and it's funny because I just bought one of these, and then I this today. Whatever, I don't mind if I have an extra one, but it looks like we might finally be getting another Google TV Chromecast. Now, this is something that I've been wanting for the longest time because the current Google TV Chromecast has been so far outdated for so long, and we just needed a pro version. Don't get me wrong, if they can just update the 4K one, I'm fine with that too. But I've long thought, like, hey, we just need a pro version. Really match yourself up with Apple TV, right? Apple TV. Actually, let me know in the comments. Is Apple TV $100 or $150? Let's just say $100 would be the highest I would want to pay for a Chromecast. The regular one is 70, and the cheaper one is 40, I believe. And then Walmart came out with a Google TV set-top box called the On Google TV box, and theirs is only $20, and it's really good for the price. So, all that being said, this is something that has not really been touched since Google TV came out with the 4K one. What, 6 years ago? I want to say. I'm trying to remember. 2020. Yeah, 2020. So no, so 4 years ago. 4 years ago they came out with that one, and then I think it was 2 years ago they came out with the 1080p version, right? So here's the thing. Now, in a lot of the developer stuff for Android TV 14 beta, which by the way, most Google TVs are still on Android 12, not Android 13, but Android 14 TV 14 beta has this hinting at a new controller, which obviously would probably mean that it would be a new Chromecast. Now, we do not know at what tier this will be. I like the idea of having a better Chromecast remote for sure. Like, I feel the first one was a little bit too limited in its buttons. I get they were going for simple, but sure. Here's the thing though. I will say that if they can give me, so one, I think everyone can agree, if anyone has a Google TV, that the number one thing is 16 gigs of storage. Just 16 gigs of storage and at least 3 gigs of RAM, but it should be 4 gigs of RAM, right? So if they could just double essentially what they have, because currently Google TV 4K is 2 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of storage. I cannot have all my streaming services with 8 gigs of storage. I literally have to uninstall one if I want to add I think the eighth or the ninth one, whatever it is. It's just like it cannot fit in there, or I have to clear the cache or do other stuff, right? But if they would give a pro version or anything along those lines, like I was buying this. I was literally making the shopping decision today. I ended up buying a Xiaomi one. So there's a Xiaomi one that has Google TV on it, and it has a faster processor on there. So me being annoyed with my current one that it's just so slow and it just does not move. And I think it's a heat issue. I think when you put the dongle and it's just hanging on the back of the TV creates heat and it makes the processor run hot. So it then throttles and then it has an issue. So I actually prefer having like an extension if I could do it again. But I got this one, but I would just want, like, Nvidia has this old one that is Android TV still. If that one would turn into Google TV, I would be fine. Like, I would have bought that one at 150. But it's really interesting to see how this is kind of going. So if it's a refresh of the 4K one and it gives us today's specs, I'm totally fine with it. I would also appreciate if, it was a little bit better one. I mean, I know Google kind of gave up a lot of stuff when they gave up on Stadia. I almost forgot the name of it. When give on Stadia for their higher end TV top box kind of things. But I mean, with like the investment that we talked about last week, with Walmart investing heavily into buying Vizio and in this realm now, and more advertising really going to be coming to the forefront of TVs with Fire and Google. I definitely can see why Google might be like, okay, it's time to reinvest. By the way, if this would be announced, it would be announced probably, I think it's in, I want to say the end of next month or May is when it happens for the next Google I/O. Let me see. Google I/O 2024 is, has it still not been announced yet? Let's see. Whoa, is it really going to be all the way back in June? Whoa, that is late. Yeah, like last year was May 24th. It will be interesting if it's all the way back in June. Very interesting that they would be pushing back as opposed to moving up. I feel like every year, these companies are trying to move up their events, not push them back. So this is going to be interesting if that happens. All right. Now, the last bit of news, still staying on Google, and that is some good news and some, interesting news for the two new products. And that is that we will be getting a 45 millimeter of the Pixel Watch 3, which I think everyone's been asking for a bigger size. I think that was the main kind of downside of the last one, the Pixel Watch 2. It kind of fixed a lot of what Pixel Watch 1 did, but just didn't change the size. So I think that's definitely one thing that a lot of people would be looking forward to. And then secondly, that the so by the way, this is 45. I do want to point out, like, mine is a 47 from Samsung, but Apple Watch does have the same kind of larger sizes, and Samsung for their Watch 6 only goes up to 44. So it's matching. It's matching Apple, and it's getting closer to Samsung in terms of size, which I think is good. I'm curious. Then, just judging by these numbers, is it going to be 41 millimeters, maybe for the smaller one, or are they going to keep it that size? I don't know. Let me see. We'll have to wait and see. But the other thing is that they are going to have new Pixel Buds Pro 2s, and I'm surprised. I'm really also surprised that, like, I was thinking, I'm like, wait, didn't we have the 2s already? But no, those were the Pixel Bud 2s. So the Pixel Bud Pro 2s have not come out. So very curious to see how those will turn out. I mean, I didn't think anything bad of the Pixel Buds, but they just weren't like, like I've had so many since then, and it wasn't ones that I really like, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep these because they fit everything I need. So I mean, for me, sound quality, battery life, how many devices can connect to, and then ultimately how the call quality is are the four things I would look for. I really feel like I could start doing better quality earbud reviews than a lot of other than and I've seen out there lately, and that's something I might start to do now. Let me know what you guys think. Would you guys want to see more earbud reviews? Because I feel like having it in categories, and then you can kind of like, okay, what's important to me? I think there's a better way of doing it. But yeah, it's something I've been thinking of for a little while now. All right, guys, and that is the news for today. Let me know what you guys think on those topics, and now start to ask your questions. If you have any question you want to ask about any tech, if you're looking for any tech, let me know in the comment section down below, and I can help you try to find it. Or if you have any questions about any tech right now that you're thinking about buying, which one should you buy, all that kind of stuff, let me know in the comment section. All right. Um, yes, there is new merch. Um, Glad you're back tonight. Yes. Ricky, I'm ready to upgrade to the S22 Ultra from the S22 Ultra. Which device would you suggest? Thank you, and I will definitely check out the new gear. Yeah, so I will say the easiest answer, of course, would be the S24 Ultra. It just Definitely improved the battery life since the S22. So it's like me and Juan Carlos Bagnell, some gadget guy. Go follow him, especially for any audio quality stuff. Really great. We talked about in a recent video collab that we're doing, and that is we talked about how it is interesting that like it's hard to kill these phones now. I know I said specifics in the video, but like some of the specifics were like it would just like it died like so much easier before than it did now. Like I left it running on YouTube overnight to try to kill the phone, and when I woke up it was still at like I don't know 15-20% or something like that, and I'm like, how did it last 8 hours of video playback screen on time? That never used to happen. Okay, my sleep is probably 6 hours, but still, like that would kill a phone easily before, right? You wouldn't have dreamed that would still be alive after that, and yet it was. So that was really curious for that like we're getting that good of battery life now. And then the photo quality has definitely improved, but really the video quality has vastly improved to the CS22. So yeah, for those reasons, I would say the easy transition would be an S24 Ultra that I would recommend. And Samsung is about to have like their spring event sale or Samsung Discover sale. I forgot what they call it right now, but they are about to have one. So check out that. I think it starts this week, if not tomorrow. Um, so yeah, I will check out. I'll get to some of these questions. If there's no other questions, I'll check out to see what deals there are because I know they sent me an email about it. And yeah, I could kind of see like what early deals they had already talked about. I know they are pushing the Galaxy Book Ultra that they just came out with, which is kind of interesting. For me, I just I'm I don't know if I don't think their Galaxy Book series would ever make me leave like Asus or MSI. Those are the two that I always kind of think about kind of stuff. So yeah, their Discover spring sale. Um let's see. I'm just seeing I'm gonna I can't like there are stuff under embargo, but I'm just gonna tell you when you might want to check out deals. Yeah. Okay. So I would say you want to go ahead if you want a Galaxy S24 Ultra, check out the deals tomorrow. I'm gonna leave you this little link and use this link tomorrow, and you should get the best deal that they'll have for the next. I would say the next 4 months because they're probably not gonna have a better deal than this till Prime Day in July. So for the Galaxy S24 deals tomorrow, click that link tomorrow, and then you should be good. All right. Hey Ricky, I'll have to catch a replay tonight. I'm watching Revolution. Hey, go ahead and enjoy it, man. I'm not a big AEW fan, but I will say I'll watch the Sting match for sure. A bigger battery, built-in S Pen, 200 megapixel would justify the hefty price tag. I would trade in my S22 for that, for sure. Oh yeah, it doesn't look like Dish is dishing out any of the money. I see what you did there, Quiet Storm. I see what you did there. Hello, Moto. Wait, are you suggesting that Moto might buy them? Moto's a subsidy of Lenovo now, so Motorola is definitely not big enough to do that. If that's what you're thinking, Lenovo, I wouldn't even say would spend the money for that. Not anywhere in near the billions for that. I I got a brand new iPhone 8 from my 8th grade teacher 2 weeks ago. Love it. I just wish it had eSIM. You know, it's so funny. I was talking about that to someone else that used to be at work at a carrier store the other day, and we were talking about how I remember the first eSIMs were in the watches, in the Samsung. I don't even think it was Galaxy watches. I think that it was like the Gear S3 or something like that. I think that was the first eSIM ever in the U.S. And I said how I remember telling people like this is going to be the future, but you're probably not going to get people super excited about it until Apple does it. And sure enough, I think it was like 3 years later when Apple started doing it to their phones first, and then we kind of saw it, yeah, obviously get big after that. Um, what wall charger do you recommend for the S24 Ultra? I mean, there's a lot. Let's see. Let's do a quick look, and let's do 30-watt USB charger. All right. So let's take a look. So I would suggest 30 watt. Most of these phones can do up to, um, uh, what do you call it? So most of the phones can do 30 watt. You can do up to 45 watt actually on that one. Okay, like this is one I bought. I bought both of these actually. Hmm. But these are just the. I'm trying to see if one that has both, but they are usually separated now, which is kind of funny. Um, I don't really know that brand as much. Oof. I mean that's a nice one, but still no. Let's do 45 watt. Let's do 45 watt just because that is the maximum that the Galaxy S20 that the Galaxy can do. Okay, that's a pretty nice one. All right, think I like that one. Mm, 43. Let me see. Okay. Might go to that one, but let me check one thing because that's times zero point 0.8. So that would be 35 and 20 cents with that 20% off. Unfortunately, you typically have to get these separate now. Like the cables, they don't really include the cables. Like this is an off-brand Samsung one, so I'll grab that one too just in case. But yeah, I mean Anchor is just a really good one to go with. And then yeah, but it doesn't. I don't see any ones that I would really like. Oh yeah, definitely get that one without the. I have to see if that one folds, and then let me see about this one. Okay, if not, let's go 100 watt. Oop. All right, let's see. I mean, again, you can get them very inexpensive, so let's go for a 2 pack. These are 6 feet ones, so that's not bad. Oh, such a fan of these ones. I have them all over my house. So I think I'll have to go with that one. All right. Okay. Does this one flip up or not? Yeah, so see, this one comes with a cable, right? So it has that going for it. But I just don't like that it doesn't flip up. So I'm going to take away that one. So for the charger, I would 45 watts, so it can charge full speed. That it does support Samsung's Fast Charge 2.0 at full speed. So this is the one I would probably recommend. Gonna do an affiliate link over here. So Anchor charger. But what I'll also point out is two more, right? One, this one is cheaper and it has an extra outlet. Now, when you plug in that extra one, this will go down to 30 and the other one will have 12. But it's just nice to, like, if you need to charge your watch or if you need to charge whatever, your earbuds or anything else, it's nice to have an extra one. So because of that, I want to give a shout out to this one. And I do like this brand as well, so much so that they're the number one cable I recommend. Um, so there's that one, right? But their cables. Look at this. Four times I've purchased this cable, so definitely like the quality, and it's on sale right now for limited deals. Why not get it? I just love that it lights up. I love it. It's simple, silly, but I just love that it lights up. It accepts all kinds of fast charging. I've charged laptops with this. I've charged phones with this. Everything. So, and it's a 2-pack for $10. So definitely good. Replace even your old cables with it. It's long too, 6.6 feet. So no issues with length in that one. Really good for that. So yeah, best USB cables. And it's on sale right now. So if you need one, those are the ones to get. So yeah, that would be the best combo I would recommend for it. I literally have bought Anchor ones like that. Anchor is literally like the big battery packs that I buy too now. I've kind of switched to just going with Anchor. Not sponsored with these, but just something I've switched to that I bought on my own. I bought that one on my own, the big boy, and then the smaller everyday travel one as well. All right. Here's a tech movie question. Do you think they'll drop a Mint Mobile ad in the middle of Deadpool? Um, I don't know, especially so for those who don't know, Ryan Reynolds has sold both the Avion Gin and they did sell Mint Mobile to T-Mobile, right? So T-Mobile is now buying Mint Mobile. In both cases, I think Ryan Reynolds still has to be a spokesperson, at least for Avion Gin. I know, or sorry, Aviation Gin. I know he still had to be a representative for X amount of years when the deal went through. I do not know if that's the same for Mint Mobile and T Mobile's deal, but I mean, dude just does so well with that. But yeah, I could see like it could definitely be a riff on that. But at the same time, there's going to be so many inside jokes that I don't know if we need it. Wow, Ricky and Juan collaboration, sweet. Yeah, it's coming up soon. It's actually my fault that it hasn't even come out yet, because of my new job and coming up and everything. That I kind of got caught up in that. So yeah. Um, my current laptop is 4 year old and works fine. It does everything I need. Is it stupid to upgrade to a new laptop to be able to use Nvidia's AI features? So here's the thing. If you just want Nvidia's AI feature, I would buy used, right? Because to buy a new laptop is going to be probably too expensive. Let's go ahead and check out though. So even though I did leave the company already, and I used to be running their influencer program. For those of you who don't know, I used to work for Newegg. Just quit the company, and basically I used to do all of their influencer program. But I still think they are the best when it comes to finding a laptop because of the way you can filter out things. So I use their laptop finder. Would definitely recommend it. But essentially the main thing you're looking for, I need to open this up a little bit more. There we go. Essentially the main thing you'd be looking for is a dedicated GPU, right? To be able to do these. And essentially what that would be, ooh, I mean, you do need NVIDIA too. Um, I swear they had that filter. Um, many cores. Huh. Video port, web camera series? No. Okay, well, let's just go with RTX series. Don't need any of these. Do they really not have 30,000 series anymore? Okay, no. What? Um, that's not right. All right. Let's just go with this. And oh, they're in here. Of course, they're in here. Okay, so let's just go with this. Let's not. All right. Let's include only 30 series and up, and then apply. And let's just see what the least expensive one. Let's go in stock. And let's see what the lowest price is going to be. I don't know that brand. Personally, I would just always go with the brand I kind of know. All right, so here. 12th gen HP 669. I'm just going to quickly look. So, yeah, 12th gen i5 is going to be better. And then RTX 4050. Yeah, like this would be perfectly fine probably for what if you just want that one feature, basically. I'm trying to see if there's anything remotely like, oh, well, worth the upgrade in terms of if it's a difference, but no. Most of these are not worth any kind of difference in price at, what are we now at, a RTX 4? Okay. All right. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know what you're doing, right? So, but I would say this is a great one. It is 669. It has, a 12th gen i5, which, by the way, we're at 14th gen now. So this is a 2-year-old processor, and that's what you always want to look at. What year did the processor come out? RTX 4050, 16 gigs RAM, 512 storage. All that's good. The only thing that if you wanted a newer processor or a better GPU, RTX 4060 could be a bit more for gaming if you're trying to look for that. This would definitely be a better one, but it's the same processor. I don't think we have, let's see. I don't think we have like a wildly better processor. Let's see, 13. No, that's a downgrade on the superior or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, and then I mean you can get open boxes too at Best Buy even if you want, but like this is a real like what I would recommend is kind of like, okay, this is a good, decent upgrade, but to spend that, you can find something with like, an RTX 3070 used for well under that price that is much more powerful for most other things. So yeah, but this is the HP gaming laptop. Um, I'm not saying the software isn't good. Obviously, I'm using it right now, right? And for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, basically the ability to look at the camera and then look away. These are my actual eyes. These are not my eyes. I'm not actually looking at the camera right now. I'm looking over here, but it's showing you I'm looking over here, and you can kind of see it when I look up a little bit more, and the darker, how dark the eye gets. These are not my eyes, and these are my eyes. So lighter brown, darker brown. Slight change, but you can kind of see it. So yeah. So yeah, look, the software is great. I really do like it. And there are better and better AI stuff coming out. So I just don't think it's. I just use my laptop for web browsing, Google Meet, Microsoft. I mean, that is more than enough for all of that. But again, if you need it or not, I would personally probably buy used. Look on eBay, look for refurbished used, and I think that would be fine. But that's my 2 cents on it. Also, check Best Buy's. If I had more time, I do have to wrap up probably in about 8 minutes or so. But if I had more time, I would look at Best Buy's open box area and see if there's anything cheaper than that. I mean, that was an RTX 4050, well more than you need basically in terms of it. Like I was looking for like a 3060 or 3070. 4050 is perfectly fine for what you need, and you're gonna be great. Um, Thank you for the link. I like the yellow and gold color. Yeah. Um, will there be enough demand to justify a Fold Ultra with S Pen? They sure didn't ask me if I wanted a thinner phone. Um, I think there would be enough demand. I think that's honestly any Fold user. Those are the three things that I've always seen them. So these are the people that already decided to make it buy these foldable phones. These are the three features they want. But I will also say that like I just I like outside of Apple users, I don't know anyone that wants a thinner, lighter phone from a fold. Like I don't ever see that. Um, so yeah, I just why I don't know, but yeah, I just want that for sure. Well, at least put a pale green, hoping stronger royal green. Yeah, colors would be great to have a jade green again or bold green like that. But yeah, I mean, I think I don't know why. Again, I think they're trying to get the Apple users with the thinner, lighter phone. But I don't care about it. I really don't. Um, and yeah, I said last week, the Ultra would be the best thing they could do, and this week we're getting the rumor mill from two different leakers that they are working on an Ultra, and it could be coming out as soon as this year. So I don't know. I think it would be great, absolutely great. I would buy a Fold 6 Ultra if it's an Ultra, not Fold 5, 4, and 3. Yeah. Again, I would say it would move the needle a lot. Those Indian cables are great. You got me hooked on those. Oh, I think I know. Remember, I sent you something or something like that, or I don't know if it was that or, but yeah, I definitely recommended those cables before. What can you tell us about your new employment? So yeah, I will be. Funny enough, as I'm known on the internet, RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy, and all my social media handles are YouTube Tech Guy. Even on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, I'm at YouTube Tech Guy. Um, Tomorrow, I will be starting my new job to help influencers get a better following and get more sales and everything at TikTok. So yeah, I'm gonna be working for TikTok. I was headhunted by three different companies over the past 2 months, almost 3 months, um, and it was a very interesting experience to be headhunted. Uh, but word got around everything I did at Newegg and building a huge uplift in their sales with influencers, and you know it the whole thing how I pitched the program was it was the first ever program made by an influencer for influencers, and it did very well. Like we had so many influencers go there for Newegg, and are doing working with Newegg now. And I'm happy to say that I think it's in great hands now as well. You know, I was lucky enough to not pick my successor, but recommend my successor. And the CEO of the company saw fit that, like, hey, if you recommend him, we'll take a look at him right away. And so, yeah, most of you guys here at the channel know him, Wayne from H2 Tech Videos, another influencer. He's going to continue on that tradition. And yeah, it's in great hands with him. And it's just great that I was able to kind of move that in the great way. and then also now start on this new adventure at TikTok and really see how I can help influencers there and help them grow and everything. Yeah, it's very interesting to say the least. And it's funny they weren't the only people asking. They were the only social media platform. But I will say, like, it was very interesting. I almost got recruited by a gaming company, and then another one was an affiliate company. So yeah, it was a very interesting stretch, and we'll see how it kind of goes. I am just, it was very, like I said, I never had been headhunted in my life, and it was so interesting, right? It was like, oh, these are what the popular kids in high school must have felt like, right? Like everyone wants you. No, but it was an awesome experience, and very, very fortunate to have this kind of thing. So yeah, I'll be starting on that shortly, and we'll see how it kind of goes. I don't always talk about my 9 to 5 stuff that much. I just always make sure you guys know where I am. So if I'm, whatever kind of thing, if I like say, or whatever, I always kind of disclaim it, like, hey, and keep in mind, I work for this company or I work for that company or whatever. Always kind of try to do that as long as I've been doing this for 12 years. But yeah, a little bit behind the scenes stuff. Um, how do you post a photo or a video from your PS4 to social media? Um, you know, I've never really done it. Actually, that's not true. I have. I connected it to Facebook once, and then it automatically posted it from there. But I would assume you could do it through the PlayStation app. I want to say, but I remember like I beat Madden, whatever it was, like Madden 21 or Madden 22 on my PS4 Pro, and I remember posting it because it was the last time before this year that the 49ers went to the Super Bowl, and I was like, this is how it's going to be. Like, I played the Super Bowl match and won, and I was like, this is what we're going to see this Sunday or whatever. And I remember I posted that on from my PlayStation Pro to the TV to Facebook. Um, but yeah, that was literally the one time I did it. Have not done it since. But I would assume that there's a share button. It's the top left button as the option button. This is your top left on your controller. The top right is the options button. The top left is a share button, and it's a whole system of how to do it. But yeah, I haven't done it since then, to be honest. You get head unstructured head image pop. Oh man, everybody wants you. Yeah, man. But thank you guys so much. I will have to head out. Oh, yeah, okay. No, I just want to make sure I got to every question. Thank you guys so much. I will, like I said, try to get more videos done this week. Just again, had some family issues, and then getting everything situated took a lot more time with leaving my old job, starting the new one, and everything. So hopefully, we'll have more time this week. We'll see how it goes, starting a new job and still doing it. But I definitely want to get at least 2 videos out this week. It's long overdue. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.
Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Also, follow us on social media at YouTube Tech Guy.